we'll have to see. And the only other bit I wanted to ask you about off the field is Liverpool's accounts haven't come out, but you'll have seen the Deloitte figures and then people read into that. And Mo Chatra, as he always does, did the Money Talks podcast for us and kind of asked a lot of questions around the wages, the way they seem to be increasing. There's a lot of, as he put it, unanswered questions there. And we know we've missed out on the Champions League for this account period. I know you've written about sort of the figures, the finances, and talked about them before. Was there anything that sort of surprises you or you think is worthy of questioning in there at all?
Yeah, I think Mo's right to point out that leap in the wages going up, I think around 14 million from the last set of accounts to this one, despite the fact Liverpool weren't in the Champions League. That is quite interesting. I mean, I would say I don't think there's anything, underhand going on there. There's no reason, for example, I know people are kind of trying to suggest it's a way of FSG funneling money out of the club. But do people honestly think that John Henry and Tom Werner or whatever really need to be funneling £14 million out of Liverpool Football Club into their own pockets? They're rich enough in their own rights. They don't need to do that. There are other assets that they own. They've got ways of using the money there. It's not. There's nothing going on there. I'll say that much. I've seen that suggestion a few times, but I think it is interesting. I think it's there is a question to be answered there. I mean, some of that leap will be accounted for by the fact that Alisson gets a mid-contract pay rise that kind of went under the radar a little bit, but obviously that's nowhere near 14 million a season. So I'll be very, very interested. I tried to speak to someone at Liverpool about this, and I think, very kind of reluctant to give out any details prior to their own accounts coming out, which is usually kind of, March time or so. So I'm guessing we'll get a clearer look at it then and kind of a better idea of what that leap is about. But as I say, I don't think it's anything underhand or anything worth, churning out a conspiracy theory about. I don't think it's that. Sometimes as well, it can just be about timings as well. So kind of what that rolling, the rolling debt, what that looks like, for example, you only get a snapshot of a very specific period when the accounts come out. So it's hard to kind of, it can just be timing in terms of where that is, and that wage bill might not look like that when the official accounts come out. So we'll just have to have a look really and see where that's up to, and whether that hadn't accounted for the players that left in the summer and it ran on a little bit long. It's just that sort of thing. It can just be cut-offs and things like that can account for it. So, but it is an interesting question. I would be very, very interested to know what it looks like in the official accounts, but I'm going to wait till they come out to really make any sweeping judgments, because a lot of the time the Deloitte stuff is really kind of, an overview and bigger picture look. It doesn't let you get into some of the kind of granular detail. So I'm looking forward to those coming out and having a real look through then, and then hopefully be able to give a better explanation of why that wage bill has leapt up.
Yeah, and to be fair, I know Mo says that in the pod, obviously, when the official accounts come on, that's the time to fully scrutinise it. And obviously, the speculation, is there a final Klopp payment in there? As you said, the Alisson mid-contract, but there was talk that Trent got one as well. So we'll have to see when it comes to that time what is fully in there. But